Time to rev up for some 8-bit racing action. "3D Grand Prix" by Software Invasion on the BBC Micro. Excuse the paint on my hands. And if you look at the cover here, you'll see the number 2 on the car itself, on the screenshot. BBC Micro game, and dated 1984. But of course there's also an Amsoft game by a different publisher called Exopal, called 3D Grand Prix on the Amsoft Gold label. I've owned a copy for many, many years, both on cassette, I bought on South Sea Pier, and this disc copy. See, copyright Exopal. Are they the same game? Because it doesn't say Software Invasion. Let's find out. So I've mentioned 3D Grand Prix on ChinnyVision before when I've looked at the Amsoft catalogue, and I think in my 6128, 30 years of 6128 video. And we're on Zandvoort Raceway for some reason, not Silverstone, but never mind. You're in the car and it's marked number 2. Manual gears only, and off we go. Gear 2, gear 3, gear 4. There are only 4 gears, you have mirrors, and you have to overtake the other cars, but you do start off in position 1. Oh, and I've come off the road and crashed. So no qualification, you just start off in position 1. When you crash, there's a small pause, and then you can drive off again. So we're down to 3 now. I think it's either 4 or 5 laps of the circuit. No, I didn't load this from disk on my CPC in the end. I loaded it from an image of crashed. So I couldn't find the power supply for my disk drive. Just going to edge around the edge, get around the edge, I can overtake him. It's quite hard. It's quite hard and fiddly to overtake. Partly because the other cars crawl along and swerve in front of you. Software Invasion presents 3D Grand Prix. You have qualified in the World Drivers' Championship. The next race will take place at Silverstone. You must finish each race in one of the first 4 positions to qualify for the next circuit. Well, okay, good luck with that. There are 8 different circuits in the game, okay. Didn't know that. Joystick control or keyboard, the usual slightly bizarre wrong way round BBC Micro keyboard controls. Oh, I'm going to get downvotes from the BBC owners. Sorry, QAOP is the only acceptable keyboard control. Possibly ZXOK. 3D Grand Prix was created by Mick O'Neill and somebody I missed out. Well, Mick O'Neill and Dave Mendes. So, off we go. 3D Grand Prix. And it's the same game, isn't it? I think we can deduce that from the screenshot. Number 2 at the front. So yes, it appears to be the same game from the same coders. I assume Exopal are the name of their company and they use that to sell the game to Amsoft. Why can't I speed up? Why can't I speed up? Can I change gears? It's very fast and smooth. So I'm now in position 5, and again I'm slowing down from the... Am I slowing down when there's another car behind me? That's weird. Ooh, that's really weird. Can I get past? No. Braking doesn't really work. It doesn't work. If you want to suddenly slow down, I'm afraid it's a bit like trying to stop a cruise liner. In that it doesn't really respond. Grand Prix cars are known for being famously fast to stop. But, oh, he's just driven through me. This keeps happening. Back on the Amstrad, I'm now in position 22. So I've dropped that far back. But it's demonstrably the same game. I thought it might just be 2 games with the same title, but no. It's unusual, because is this known about? Because the different publishers with Amsoft always makes it difficult, but usually when Amsoft publish a game that's available on another system. At least it's like someone like Romic, where you can go, oh yes, Romic have done a BBC Micro version of this game as well, but Exopal, no. Come on. A Software Invasion did publish on the Amstrad. I've come off the circuit and crashed. The green's very noisy. I don't know why. Some colours can be a little bit noisy on the RGB on the CPC when you capture them sometimes. That green seems exceptionally noisy. Come on, right. And I'm on lap 2 and position 21. Can I get past the car? Can I get past the car? Like the BBC version, the Amstrad version has 8 circuits, and you also have to qualify in the top positions. You always start at the same circuit. You can't select which circuit you begin from. This is Amsoft Gold, which is something Amstrad did to try and get away from the poor image Amsoft had. Amsoft did a load of really good games, but in the early days it really was a case of shovel anything you possibly can onto the system as fast as possible, and therefore Amsoft got themselves a terrible reputation. Whereas there's actually quite a few. Actually, some of those early games are relatively good. If you enjoy watching videos of low-rent games from years and years ago, where there's many better examples to play, then you might enjoy the ChinnyVision Patreon. It's just $1 a month to get in. You get previews and exclusives of ChinnyVision videos. And there's also the ChinnyVision Discord and ChinnyVision 2 as well. All linked in the description below. Oh, nice and fast on the BBC here. But as the years went on, I think 85, Amstrad started doing stuff on Amsoft Gold. Just to say, hey, this game isn't rubbish, honest. Games like Sorcery Plus and... did Raid come out? I think Raid came out on Amsoft Gold. There was that tank game. Oh. 25. Can I get 24? I've gained a position. This game is insanely hard, and revs, it is not. But it's big, colourful sprites in front of you with the... I'm impressed at how smooth those other cars are and how colourful and large they are. Can I get past? It's going to be impossible, isn't it? Can I get past? Oh! Too hard. It's a kind of thing you could just alter this game a little bit to make it easier to overtake. And both these versions suffer from the same issues of cars coming from behind you and slowing you down and it being impossible to overtake. Incidentally, apropos of nothing to do with the game, the Retro Tinker seems to be struggling a bit with the BBC Micro. Sometimes, and I've not shown this, when the screen modes change, the interlacer goes completely wrong, and this game's using some interlaced effects when you crash, and they go wrong as well. Have fiddled with the settings, but no improvement. Come on, there's a car behind me. No wing mirrors on the BBC, unlike the Amstrad. Still, and no gear indicator either. Oh, you got the 4 levels. No number. Come on, come on. Oh, can I get around the corner? Can I get around the... Oh, I've crashed. It's just not enough. You're competing... Oh, God, keep on me. I hate it when racing games do that. Round the corner, round the corner, round the corner. Come on, come on, come on. Can we get past? Can we get past? Can we get past? Right, yes! Course completed. Only came 24th. I'm not in the top 8. Game over. And more interlacing woes on the scrolling text there. Don't know why it's doing that. Anyone? I'll put a still up of it doing it. Really lousing that up. So in answer to the question, is 3D Grand Prix on the BBC and Amstrad CPC the same game? Yes, it is. On the CPC, well, you're not competing against revs, you're competing against things like Formula 1 Simulator by Mastertronic, in which case it's not a bad, more realistic racing game. Formula 1 Simulator is a little bit, it's fun, but the other cars are very flickery and hard to overtake. They're hard to overtake on here, but at least they look good. On the BBC Micro, of course, you're competing against revs, and that means this is a really almost like a waste of time, because you can be playing revs, and revs is superb. It's well implemented in many ways. It's fast, it's smooth. I like the look of the other cars, but on both versions, the faults are the same. It's impossible to overtake. The cars, when they're behind you, slow you down for some bizarre reason, and they can also drive straight through you, causing you to crash, which is even worse. Another thing for both versions is the other cars drive really, really slowly, which means you overtake. And again, on both versions, it takes too long to brake. You just kind of leisurely come to a stop like you're driving in Austin Allegro, not a Formula 1 car. The game gives you lots of visual eye candy when you start it up with all those colourful graphics and large, drivable cars. But the thing is, you'll soon get bored because of all the obstacles to overcome, like how it's impossible to overtake, how other cars crash through you, and so on. It's a shame, because with some thought, this could have been a far better game than the one we actually got.